Hello students, now let us come back to the topic that we left on the last video, that is tuple. So tuples are similar to list. This collection is also iteratable. It is ordered and can contain repetitive data just like list. But one thing which is not similar to list is immutability. That means it is not immutable. That means you cannot change a tuple with the same data values. Okay, so the syntax of tuple is, you use, instead of using angular brackets, you use a parenthesis. When you use a parenthesis and put the data values within the parenthesis, you are defining a tuple. So we have seen this in the previous video, that we can create a list like also this, but we are using an angular brackets. So if I want to create a tuple, the tuple is like this. So if I just write it here, okay, if I go and mention it here, this is a tuple. So if I put a tuple 1 value, this shows a parenthesis. Within this I have certain values. Now I can have an empty tuple also, like if I doesn't mention any values, it is an empty tuple, and or I can use a keyword called tuple and pass the values. Then in that case again I will create a tuple with the values, like we did it for list. We are doing the same thing with this. So we are using a keyword called tuple and are passing certain set of values. Now it will create a tuple and assign it to tuple 3. So if I create tuple 3, it will give me a tuple 3 again. Because why it is called a tuple? Because it has certain set of values closed between the parentheses. Okay. Now why I can say that this is immutable? The thing is, if I have a list, suppose I have a list, that means list 1 is equal to, say I have called 1 2 3 5, yeah, 5 and 8. So these are the list, and suppose I have a tuple again, tuple 1, which has the same values. Okay, so let me copy these values, but the tuple will start with a bracket. Okay, I have the same values. Copy this, paste this here. Okay, I have the same value. So I have two things, one is the tuple and one is the list. Now what I do, what I do is I change list 1 in list 1 4. List 1 4 means I am going to access the index of the fourth element. Okay, list 1 4 is suppose hello. This is what I do. So now I will print the list 1, it will change the 4, 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this is the fourth element, so they change the fourth element. Okay, with what? Hello. So I replaced 5 in the list with the word called hello. So if I want to do the same thing as tuple 1 4 is equal to hello, so can I do this? It will say the tuple object does not support item assignment. That means you cannot go and change a value which you have already created a tuple. If you have created a tuple and you want to change the existing tuple, you cannot do this. Okay, now how can I change, how can you add? You want to add a tuple 2, you want to create another instance of that tuple. So tuple 2, now if we want to put it hello here, and you print, it will print in tuple 2, so it will create new. So that is what we want to say by immutable. Mutable means you can change the existing instance of a particular data structure or particular data. Now in immutability, you cannot, if you want defined a data in a data structure, you cannot go and change it in future. You need to create a new value again. Okay, so that is what is called immutability of a tuple. Now the next concept is called concatenation of tuples. So if I have a tuple 1 with 0, 1, 2, 3 and tuple 2 as geeks for geeks. Now what I want to do is I have tuple 1 plus tuple 2. Plus here is not arithmetically adding these two values because these are numbers and these are called just strings. So what it will do, it will first print the value of tuple 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and then it will add the rest of the values that are there in tuple 2, that geeks for geeks. So it will create a new tuple, tuple 3 with both the tuples value in the order in which you have mentioned in that particular code. In this, tuple 1 should go before tuple 2. Now there is a very important concept which is known as slicing of a tuple. It's very powerful because if you want to read a particular string from middle or from the beginning or from the end or in between, you will read the characters. The slicing is a concept that helps you do this. Slicing of a tuple is done to fetch a specific range of slice of sub-elements from a tuple. Okay. Slicing can also be done into list or arrays. Okay. Indexing is in a list result to fetching a single element, whereas slicing allows to fetch set of elements. So indexing means you are jumping to an index, retrieving the value at the index, one value at a time. In slicing actually does, you can retrieve multiple values by hopping at different indexes. Okay. Now what is the structure of the slicing in using tuple? You have a tuple name, you have a start pointer, you have a stop pointer, you have a step pointer. Okay. Start is from where you want to start the slicing, from where we want to start the slicing, and stop is from where you end the slicing. Okay. And then this step, the step value is optional. Okay. If you don't give a step, you are hopping by one. Okay. You are changing, you are reading one by one. If you have a step value called 2, you are leaving 1 and hopping the 2 elements. Okay, we will see what it means. So if I have a tuple called this, okay, so if I have a tuple called this, so if I print the tuple, print tuple 1, so I have all these elements in tuple 1, right? I hope you can see these elements in tuple 1. Now what we do, if I apply start and without any stop and end, so if I apply tuple 4, okay, if I apply tuple 4, tuple 4 means this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. The thing could start with T. Okay, ideally should start with T. So it's starting from TYE, this is the element that will be printed, TYEARSTUDENTS. So these are the elements that will print, because start, the 4 means it start with the index, whatever the element is there in the index 4. So this F is index 0, 0, 1, 2 and 3. These 4 elements will be ignored, they are left out, and this, the thing that we printed is this. Now the special case with stop is, stop generally if you mention something called, say this one tuple, if you mention 4, you don't mention here anything and you mention 4, okay, that means this is the stop symbol, the second element is the stop symbol, and you say that stop before the element 4. So so now the tuple value is this. Okay, so it has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the fourth element. Okay, so it won't read the fourth element. If whatever thing you mention here, it will go 1 minus this element, 1 less than this element. Okay, so it will, what it will do is, it will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it will take this value of a tuple. Okay, it won't read the fourth value. Why? Because as per definition, whatever is the stop value, you go 1 less than that particular value. Now if I have the same thing called tuple, if I say I want to, I don't give a start, I don't give an end, Okay, I don't give a stop, and I give a value called 2. That means what I do is here is I want to read the first element f, then I want to read the third element. So I will hop by 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so I will reach r, then I will again hop by 1 and 2. I will reach t, then I again jump y and e. I will reach e. So it will leave one by one and it will hop by f, r, t, e, r, t, d, and s. So you verify this: f, r, t, e, r, t, d, n, and s. Okay, so it is shifting, it is hopping by skipping one element from the start, because I haven't mentioned anything in the start, I haven't mentioned anything in the stop. Okay, so it will start by default from the first element and read till the end of the element, jumping one, skipping one element, because it's mentioned read two elements. Okay, now what will it happen if I don't give anything here, start and end, and I mention -1. Okay, if I the step count is -1. If the step count is -1, that means you are reading from the end of the list, or you are reversing a particular tuple or reversing a particular list, whatever is the case. So it will start from S, then it will go to T, then N, then E, then D, then U, then T, up to F. Okay, so what you do, you reverse the tuple itself. Okay, if you have an index called minus, the step count is -1, then you are reading it from the back end. Okay, so if I want to read, if I have a tuple like this, tuple is -4 comma minus if I have -7 and -2 and this is -1. Okay, so what can be the value? I will leave this to the students to comment it out. Okay, so -1 means I am reading it from the end, and index becomes -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, -12, -13, -14, -15, -16, -17. So in case of reverse reading, that means you are starting from -1. You are not starting from 0. It's starting -1. So it, because it is reading from the back side, you are reading from here. Okay. So you want to find the index -7. For -7, you have to go to -2 and you stop at -2, before -2, and you print it. So what will be the value if the tuple is this? This is left to the student to work on. Now coming back to things like this. Okay, this is the slicing concept. It helps you if you want to read a substring. Okay, this is a very important concept, every student should know. This exercise is left to the students. The next thing is called sets. So we will be working on sets in the next video.